makhosi. Ngiyanibingelela nina lapha emakhaya Mkhulu Sseida lo. Igedla lamashkrishkri nyanga yamakhosi bakwethu ngisasekhona ngisasela ningasabi if you see me disappear for a week or so. It's December time, it gets a little busy kodwa ngisasekhona bakwethu. Before we go into today's episode, I just have a quick announcement for those of you that have tried to reach me on my old number. The old number is redundant. Mkhulu Sseida has changed numbers. You'll see the new number below here. The new number is 061 178 1304. 061 178 1304. That's the new number that you can get in touch with Mkhulu Sseida on. Like I said, yeah, inyanga yamakhosi le. And I am still happy to bring you guys information that awakens people spiritually to continue lo msebenzi lo enganikwa yithonga. Ngoba lo msebenzi lo enganikwa yithonga angizivukelanga one day and I decided ukuthi I want to be in front of thousands of people being viewed and teaching. It is something I was called to do. Like I've always said, like you've seen on the thumbnail, guys, this particular episode was requested by one of the viewers. Shout out to you when oyowacela ukuthi sithinte le episode le kancane. Starseeds, Indigo Children, Wanderers. Kahle lo muntu lo ocele le episode le wayecele ukuthi Mkhulu, can you please teach us regarding Starseeds and Indigo Children, something I studied for a very long time because I myself fell under one of these categories. Out of humility, I'm not allowed to say which one, but today I just want to speak to you Starseeds. I want to speak to you Indigo Children. I want to speak to you Wanderers, because a lot of you, unbeknownst to you, due to that you fall under these specific categories. That's why you are self-initiating medium, self-initiating spiritual teachers, self-initiating spiritual guides, mentors, and shamans. It is due to this generation of people that are coming into being are specifically one of these categories. It's not Mkhulu Sseida. What is a starseed? But where to understand what a starseed is, you need to understand the makeup of the universe. Futhi ake ngisho lento le ngingayisoli futhi ake ngisho kodwa ngiyicafuna kancane ngingajuli kakhulu kuyo ngenxa yokuthi ngajula kakhulu. People are going to go into my comment section baloku bangithuka bathi Mkhulu Sseida is archaic in his thinking, kodwa ngifuna ukuthi ngiqhaqhe imicabango that was installed in you by the God of this world, phecelezi the governments, which are ruled by another power, which we will be covering in a future episode. Lo mcabango engifuna ukuqhaqha ilento le enloku nicabanga ukuthi nihlala phezulu kweqanda. Ilento le enloku nicabanga ukuthi you live on a ball. Ayikho nje leyo nto. Wena phuma uyoma ngaphandle usitshele ukuthi uzizwa uloku uphendwa uloku roundana nelanga, noma uma ngaphandle imile le ndawo leyo ohleli kuyo. Khohlwa ama science abaloku bakutshela wona enkobeni ngoba nazo le ikolo lezi niya kuzo, they don't have your best wishes at heart. Mkhulu Sseida usuyajula usuyabheda, cha angibhedi. The curriculum that you're being taught at school, it itself is not for your benefit, but it is a form of brainwashing to make you a cog, to make you a gear in the system so that you as a battery can keep feeding your power into it. Yes. Ngibeka kanjalo futhi angigeji futhi angixolisi. You've been taught ukuthi you're living on a spinning ball that's spinning I don't know how many thousands of kilometers around the sun and is turning like a basketball on God's finger at I don't know what speed. Kodwa wena mawuphuma uma ngaphandle, what do you feel? What do you see? Are you moving or is the sun moving? Tingishiya la. The plane, not the planet, the way that the infinite plane is designed is that it has multitudes of maps or multitudes of worlds or classrooms or soul schools built onto it. It is a plane. It is not a planet. It is an infinite plane. And within the infinite plane, there are dimensions and planes within there of different frequencies designed for souls to manifest within there in order to go through what we call soul evolution. For God falls from what we call unity consciousness and falls into separated consciousness in order for him to learn about himself and in order for him to find himself. And hence, this channel slogan says, connect with the God within you. Now, knowing okay, Earth is basically a classroom for my soul to learn and grow. What are star seeds? Star seeds are souls that graduated from Earth School. Imimoya noma nina that came to Earth, completed your purposes, and eventually transcended the third dimensional vibration or frequency and moved on to higher frequencies. And then the universal angels, and God eventually comes back to you and says, to go back to Earth School, because there is dissonance in the equilibrium, in the energy, in the frequency. As somebody who was once there, as somebody who once experienced the vibration, or rather the frequencies of that world, we need you to go back, because as a collective there is dissonance. The Earth is out of synchronicity. We need you to help synchronize the frequency. Unbeknownst to most of you, we are all one. We like all little tiny brain cells within the mind and the heart of the Earth. And so a kingdom divided unto itself is broken, is conquered. A kingdom must function as a unit, as a unity consciousness, in order for it to transcend, to evolve, and for it to flourish. However, the Earth realm is a third dimensional plane, a third dimensional classroom. And thus souls at first were coming here to learn the understanding between good and evil, between the light and the dark. But the Earth is currently going through a rapture, through a transition where the third dimension frequency is falling and the fourth dimension frequency is ascending, is going to be prevalent. What I'm trying to say is the Earth realm, Mother Earth, is going to move from being a third dimensional consciousness to a fourth dimensional consciousness, and star seeds are being sent to assist in this evolution. Are you a star seed? How do you know? You were fetched from wherever you were. You were still on your soul journey, and they said, pause. We need you to go back, and we need you to assist the other children that are still functioning as sheep. Assist the other children that are still in dissonance, that are still in chaotic consciousness, or rather low vibrations. Assist in increasing the vibration of the Earth. So note, a star seed is a soul that graduated from Earth, from the other planes, and gets taken from there and is brought back into the Earth realm to assist with that in recalibrating the plane's vibration. You guys are old souls. It's not easy for a soul to graduate the Earth plane. Kunzima. Mkhulu kunzima la, kunzima. You know, there's a joke amongst I don't want to call them the woke community, but the community that understands what I'm talking about. They'll usually say, Uti, whenever a soul either chooses to come back to Earth to assist, or when a soul chooses to come to the Earth to learn its soul lessons, the angels, the higher spirits clap. Because bayaz ukuthi yenjiweni lapha. Mkhulu, la emhlabeni kwaphela amazinyo wendoda, inyama ayipheli. La emhlabeni ulibamba lishisa lipholele esandleni. This is the realm that people come to in order to learn their lessons in an accelerated rate, because the vibration of this plane is very slow. Your manifestations are very slow, and the degree between the severity between things, light, dark, male, female, bittersweet. It's so severe. Ukuthi, there is so much pain that you go through and so much joy that you go through that the human soul is thrown into a lot of they go through a spectrum of emotions and vibrations, unlike in the other planes. And there is a huge division in our consciousness. Although we are one, this is the one realm where you feel the most alone. In the other realms, in fact, there's a lot of realms where people don't talk. It's telekinetic based. Communication is telekinetically initiated. However, here, so it's a terrible, terrible place, but it's also a beautiful place because you get to experience love and hate and all these other things that make life worth it. You guys are also Starseeds. Starseeds, they love conversations about other worldly things because they used to be of this world, but they are no longer of this world. So you meet someone who's about fairies, who's about aliens, who's about planets, those people generally are Starseeds. They usually do those things because in their other incarnations after they left the earth, they experienced those things. So they are not speaking consciously, they are speaking from subconscious soul memory. Things that they remember having gone through, but because of what happens to the soul when it goes from the ethereal realm and manifests in the physical realm, it experiences the death of the soul, or the death of the spirit. It forgets. It's experience what we call the forgetting. It forgets the other incarnations so it can focus on this incarnation. Dear Starseeds, there's a reason you don't feel like you belong here. You try to fit in Koseam. You try to do the boost thing. You try to do all the things that all the other earth-based souls, because they are earth-based souls that are born here on earth for the first, second, third time, or they were born here on earth, they never graduated earth school, they keep on failing class. Bakhona labo ona 28 aku grade 12. Ukhona lo ona 30 in grade 10. You have been reincarnating because you cannot follow the synchronicities or messages being sent from the higher realms. You have a disconnection to your higher self, or just in general, you're still part of the oversoul or the sheep mentality or the group soul. You still haven't individuated yet, because there's a process that when a soul goes through awakening, they go through individuation, meaning you become separate, you are crystallized. Your consciousness becomes independent of the group sheep herd mentality. You feel like you don't belong here because you came from other realms. You're drawn to peace and love. God, Starseeds, because they've come from either the fourth or the fifth dimension. They in order to graduate, number one, to the fourth or the fifth dimension, you must learn love and peace. Love is the highest vibration of all vibrations. To graduate, you must learn unconditional love, which is a tough thing within the earth dimension, because abantu bayakusongela, abantu bayakuzama, abantu bayakulilela, ngiswamaqhubu, karma, izinto ziloku nje ziyakheka ngaphakathi. And the challenge of that is to see beyond the avatar, beyond the ego, and transcend that and become your higher self. Forgive, as Yeshua Mashiach said, when they slap you on the cheek, turn the other cheek. But as you know, in this realm, you cannot shake the urge that you are not from here. You cannot shake the urge that you're not from here. Like we said, you feel like you don't belong here. But when we say you cannot shake the urge that you're not from here, you're homesick. Homesick as in you want to go back to the higher vibration, to the higher classrooms, to the fourth and fifth dimensional vibrations that you belong to. You feel tired here because the frequencies and the vibrations and the people that you always bump into make you feel like you're being dragged down. They make you feel like you are taking steps back, but come to a realization that your mission here, Starseeds, is one. It is to recalibrate the Earth's vibration. It is to assist the Earth in the ascension process, whether be it through you a self-initiate or you just a pure starseed. But that would be a starseed. If I missed anything, hit me up on the comment section. Mkhulu Sseida, Mkhulu Sseida. We're talking crazy. Moving on to the next class, Indigo Children. Now these are special. Indigo Children, hence why your color is indigo, a royal spiritual color. Now the thing about Indigo Children that makes them different is that Indigo Children are earth souls, new earth souls or reincarnated earth souls coming back on earth, but they never came from any other plane within what we call Malkuth. Those of you that understand esotericism will explain what Malkuth is. But Malkuth would explain the Sephiroth, or rather the universe that this plane exists in. Now you guys within Malkuth are originally from Mother Earth. But as the Earth's frequency is shifting from the third to the fourth dimension, and eventually incorporating some of the fifth dimensional vibrations or frequencies, you guys are being born to assist the starseeds in the transition. So you are being born with etheric abilities. There were 3 waves from the research, or rather from the channelings that happened with the beings that were being communicated with by people like us, and other shamans and other ascended beings. There was a communication in terms of when this began. The first wave, the first experiment of Indigo Children were souls that incarnated and reincarnated between the times of 1960, 1970 till 1980. That was the first wave, the testing to see if these children would be able to function within this dimension without feeling alienated, without feeling like they are castaways, without committing suicide. A lot of you Indigo Children and a lot of you starseeds will experience a lot of suicidal tendencies because in Fulkamba, this place makes you feel out of place because the vibration is too low for the light codes in you, for the DNA light codes that exist in you that everybody else does not possess. The second wave was from around the 80s until the late 90s to the year 2000. This was now when they had verified, okay, when the, how can I call them, when the Sephiroth, or when the higher conscious beings who are assisting the conscious beings here had come to an understanding which, okay, when these children get sent back, these are the light code, or rather the DNA activation codes that need to be in them and need to be adjusted for them to be able to bear up in this realm. This needs to be toned down, this needs to be increased. But when they get here, this is what they need. That was the second wave. Now the final wave of them, or rather what we call the third wave, what you guys call them 2000. That's why these kids stand out. That's why people don't really understand 2000. What's going on with these kids? They don't conform to societal rules. They don't conform to the norms. As understand ukuthi nje noma ba rebellious noma nje bayasangana noma banamthetho. No, that's not it. It's that most of them are born as Indigo Children. Well, they are 2000 order. Yeah, lokho ngizokusho nje no ungathi I'm an Indigo child, that's why I'm out of order. No, that's not it. There are certain impawu that show that you were born as an Indigo child, but just to understand, you have to have been born within that period for you to be an Indigo child, and not all of you would have been born Indigo child. Still, some of you are normal earth souls, some of you are starseeds, some of you are just people of an influence. But to understand if you are an Indigo child, most Indigo children, are hypersensitive emotionally, and to small things, not It's not somebody who can just let something go. Whether it's to them or to somebody else, they are very empathetic. Indigo children are very empathetic. Bayazwela abantu and bayazwela umhlaba. Because they understand why they have come here. They understand their mission as they have come here, which is Starseeds are here to assist the collective consciousness to rise, the vibration of the earth to rise, whereas Indigo children are here to assist the collective conscious to activate the light codes in their DNA. They are independent from the system at all costs. So you'll find them, they selling drugs here, they selling weed, not all you drug dealers, but you'll find they try to find any way to be separate from your normal 9 to 5, from your normal I want to own a business. They want to be separate from the system. Bafuna ukusebenza bona, or they want to find a way to live in the system independent of the system. They don't believe in the system. They don't believe in the religious system. They don't believe in the economic system. They don't believe in the system in general, in any way. They don't subscribe to the government. They don't have time for politics, because they came here with the mission, which is assist in the other conscious beings and avatars in activating their DNA codes, in assisting them in their crystallization process, the individuation and the separation from group or herd consciousness into a conscious God. Makos. They drawn to meditation. You know, the difference with Starseeds and I don't understand what's going on in Jose Maragashisa. Happy December. The difference between Starseeds and Indigo Children. Indigo Children, they have a natural ability of connecting to the higher powers, to the higher sources. Whereas, Starseeds have a natural ability without any assistance to connect to the higher consciousnesses, to remember who they were, to understand complex spiritual teachings much easier. Whereas Indigo Children are actually earth souls that are coming here with light, what we call activated light codes in their DNA. So they still need meditation, they still need fasting, they still need all those tools in order for them to activate their abilities. But once activated, you'll see them by which you guys are mostly drawn to meditation. You're drawn to nature. You feel more recalibrated, you feel more recharged when you go out into nature, when you are in the water, when you're in the mountain. Uzibone when a self-initiate uloku uphupha amadlozi wakhe athi iyentabeni, uloku uphupha ukuthi bathi ngene emanzini, uzibona umeditator, seeing yourself fasting naturally as an indigo child. This would be your ancestors or the guides surrounding you, assisting you on this journey that you are on. You don't need a gobela. Get a mentor, somebody either who's an indigo child or who falls into these other classes. No offense to you gobelas, but that the time of our gobela is coming to an end. It will be redundant for there to be gatekeepers or for there to be impande that govern who gets initiated or who doesn't. Because too much chaos, the universe, God, the Spirit says, too much chaos has been created due to the corrupt hearts of man. And men have become corrupt who have been given the positions in order to guide the children into the light, to guide the chosen ones into their greatest vibration. But they have taken it for granted and they have used it for their own monetary gain. And thus, God has said, the time has come that we will raise up prophets ourselves. We will self-initiate prophets. We will self-initiate shamans. We will self-initiate inyanga. We will self-initiate isango. It's coming. This is not a message from me. You see it happening. hence you cannot accept it ukuthi ikhona such a thing as self-initiation. Kodwa Mkhulu Sseida says anginandaba ukuthi uthini. Self-initiation is a reality. Makhosi. Indigo Children, you guys have a very limited battery in terms of socially. You have a limited social battery. Ningazama nkosi yami. You who are Indigo Children know yourselves. Ningazama ukuthi niphume and try to drink and party and have large circles, but when your battery gets depleted because you're associating with people that are low vibrational, or you're doing low vibrational things to try and fit in, you feel yourself become so drained, you suddenly withdraw. Delete all social media, or block your social media, and that's the time when you need to go back and recharge, because you are out of synchronicity with the mission that you are on here. So check yourself. If you are Indigo Child, do not force it to be way too social. It's okay to be alone. Even if you're out there, this guy is a weirdo. It's okay. It's okay. Go, lock yourself away, recharge, ubuye when you fill your cup, because you cannot assist others if your cup is empty. So they tend to withdraw a lot, and a lot of them that are denying this guidance that they're feeling from their guides, they'll find themselves withdrawing to virtual worlds, with virtual reality and gaming being on the rise, and gaming depicting different types of worlds, space, fantasy worlds. These worlds will remind them of the worlds that they came from, higher realms, angels, demons. These worlds will remind them of those times, and so they will withdraw to something that seems familiar to their higher self. But this is just them being out of calibration. This is just them not understanding what they're dealing with. So if you find yourself in that position, if you find yourself now uyazibuza ukuthi Nkosi yami, noma ngithi ngiyadlala la ngidlala khona, noma ngithi ngihleli and I'm trying to actually entertain myself or trying to distract myself with these games, virtual reality and so forth, I still feel displaced. This is just you reminiscing. Wake up and go back to your original mission. Makhosi. The Indigo Children will also find themselves, a lot of you will have some sort of psychic gift, whether it's clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, but you'll have some sort of psychic gift. What I've picked up with a lot of you, not all of you, but most of you, it's not a gift that can be honed by anyone. It activates on its own, and you learn how to use it naturally. You'll have some sort of psychic gift, some sort of mediumship, some sort of high-level sixth sense. You guys don't have stable lives either. No stable social life. No stable life. Life is up and down. You find yourself with, you don't have stable relationships with family members. You don't have stable relationships with friends. You're always changing friend circles. This guy this day was your best friend. This guy this day is your best friend. You were with this circle this day. This is your closest circle. You don't have people you grew up with and you stick with them. You say, these are my friends forever and ever. Amen. They don't fit into their families or into society. And that's okay, guys. Yazi, it's okay. And this is to you Indigo Children, because Indigo Children and Starseeds, it's okay, man, to not fit in. It's okay to not feel accepted. The only validation you need is the validation of God, your guides, your higher self, and yourself. If you cannot get validation out here, do not chase validation, because a human can only validate you by their words, and at that Noma Ufa, that never really did much for you. Now, I'm not saying go around disrespecting people, but what I'm saying is stop looking outside for somebody to say, yes, you cool. Oh, yes, you fit in. Yes, you're one of us. It's okay to not be one of them. There's nothing to gain by being one of them or being liked by them. Understand that. Find a place where you validate yourself and you no longer need society to validate you, and you will fall into your power as an indigo child and as a starseed. You guys have interest in magic and you might study the occult. But when your journey begins, when your spiritual journey begins, that's when your life starts unraveling. That's when you really start walking into your power. And so those are Indigo Children, guys. If I've missed anything, like I've said, like I've reiterated, go into the comment section and say Mkhulu Sseida, we are Sangoma. But if I have touched it, go into the comment section, leave a heart, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment. And now we're going into the last group. I'm not gonna touch much on this group because they're very mysterious, and I would personally know it's hard to understand them because the mission they get sent for here on Earth is very particular, and it comes with a lot of issues. And these are what we call wanderers. So they are Starseeds, they are Indigo Children, and then they are wanderers. Wanderers are souls that have exited the reincarnation system of Malkuth. So in other words, they graduated. They don't need to incarnate anymore, but they get sent back into the matrix, being sent from the higher realms. Basically, they are earth angels that get sent back here for specific missions. They must come here to help and mentor others who are trapped here and who are supposed to ascend out of Malkuth, who no longer have any soul lessons to learn within this dimension. Wanderers are called wanderers because when they come here, they are immediately aware that they are not at home. Until the awakening, they might have an issue because just like the other two classes which we mentioned, they might they go through what we call the forgetting when they manifest, because it's necessary for a soul to go through forgetting. Because you can imagine if you could remember all your incarnation, or we imagine 30 years, 60 years. Now imagine if you could remember the last 2,000 years. So it is by the program that a soul must forget the other incarnations. But wanderers throughout, the one specific sign of a wanderer is you will start having what we call when your awakening starts, you'll start having what we call incarnation regressive dreams. Now these are dreams of every other incarnation, guiding you back to remember, oh, I've been here, I've done this before. Not only have I done this before, I've done the 4th dimension, and I'm from the 6th dimension. Wanderers usually are from the 6th dimension. The 6th dimension is a different dimension. I'm going to do a video explaining the different dimensions, explaining the different soul levels, and explaining what does it take to move up the different dimensions and what happens as you move into the different dimensions. You must know within the 6th dimension, unlike in the 5th dimension where there is still a bit of individuated consciousness, although you function as a lower super consciousness. Within the 6th dimension, you must know you're functioning as a super consciousness. A group of souls unites and becomes a super consciousness, one being. And there are groups of these. And so a wanderer is a piece of that gets broken away, and within the group they say, we need you to go down there and do this. They are naturally born wise and they are very kind. They are naturally born with psychic abilities. They are naturally born with shamanic abilities. The saddest part with them is they'll suffer a lot of trauma usually for them to awaken, because that's the only thing that can be a catalyst to cause them to separate, because they never came here to be part of a big group of friends, or come here to be the most popular in school, or came here to be rich and famous. No, they came here on a spiritual mission, and it's not a small spiritual mission. It's a mission that's meant to impact thousands, if not 10,000s to millions. So they go through the trauma so that they stand out, so that the awakening is significant, so that when they tell their story and when they sit amongst people, you can feel that this individual is definitely Isqela, sent by the angels. This is a living angel that has come on earth not to be worshipped but to minister. You wanderers, know that you are slaves of the higher realm of God. You wanderers must know Uguti, your mark to know Uguti, your wanderer. God will let you know. He will come to you with the vision and converse one-on-one with you. That's the difference between Indigo Children and Starseeds. At some point, the universal source converses with a wanderer and lets the wanderer know, and gives the wanderer the mission that go back and tell the children, this is what the light has said. This is what the universal power, God, the Holy Mother and the Holy Father have said. Examples of wanderers, I'm calling Chula Kakulu because only a wanderer will know that they are wanderers. Only an earth angel, only a high priest will know that they are a high priest. It only gets revealed to them. No one else will see it. Everybody else will feel it when they look at them. But an example, just so that you guys understand, who would we be talking about if we're talking about wanderers? We'd be talking about characters such as Buddha Gautama. Oh, the great Buddha. He who became thin and then became fat through meditation, through enlightenment. As you know his story, he was a prince. And it came about that his father wouldn't let him leave the palace. He lived in luxury, he had everything he wanted within the palace. And it occurred at some point that he forced his escape to leave the palace because he wanted to see what was his father stopping him from going to see. And when he got outside, he saw that the lower classes were living in poverty, struggling. And the trauma that he went through when he saw, God, I've been living so good. Look at these people, they barely have food. It broke him, and he broke away and he threw away his royal status and he became Buddha. He became a monk. And the story goes, as you can go and read the story yourself if you want to understand better what a wanderer is. But as you know, he meditated, he didn't eat for a couple of days, he went through different things, he was under a tree, he never moved. When a snake wanted to bite him and somebody wanted to kill him, he reached what we call Christ consciousness. And Christ consciousness is simply what a wanderer had attained, but he had to give up to come to the earth in order to serve this great mission, which is the awakening of the great consciousness. Another wanderer is Yeshua Mashiach, blessed be the great prophet's name. Yeshua Mashiach, who came down here to earth, who left a great impact here. Obviously the God of the system took his teachings, took the guidance of that you are God, you are a son and daughter of God. You can attain Christhood yourself. They took it, they twisted it, and they turned him into the abomination called Jesus Christ. But Yeshua HaMashiach, blessed be the great prophet's name, was a wanderer who came from the higher dimensions to teach us unity consciousness and to assist us in the transition into the higher dimensions. We can touch upon a lot of other wanderers, but I'd like to bring up recent wanderers that have manifested and are currently living in our times. You guys can look them up on YouTube, so you can understand the specific genre of people. Here we'd be talking about people like Alan Watts, the great cool teacher. We'd be talking about people like Sadhguru, who in a sense, without me knowing, assisted me a lot in my journey. We'd be talking about people like Terence McKenna. We'd be talking about people like Rumi. These are the people that would be considered wanderers. And if we go into the fictional world, maybe you like cartoons, maybe you people like movies, if you're trying to get an understanding of what is a wanderer would be someone like, if you've watched The Matrix, Neo. If you've watched the cartoon Avatar, I haven't really watched it much, but I recognized as well the character Aang would be somebody you call a wanderer. It would be someone like Dumbledore from Harry Potter. It would be somebody like Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. These would be people that would be a reference point. If you suspect you're a wanderer, if you connect with those characters, then research these characters. From Buddha, Gautama, Yeshua, Mashiach, Sadhguru, down to Galadriel, so you get an understanding. But Bagwetu, this video has dragged on long enough. I do hope it assisted. Again, announcement, Mkhulu Sseida's number has changed. Mongfuna, WhatsApp me on 061 178 1304. And I will assist you in any way, whether you want readings, whether you want guidance, dream interpretations. Guys, we're still coming to Cape Town. If you still want to book, you can still book. Reach out to me. Makhosi.